Good morning, Green Phonics Group. Okay, so we have another recap on screen today, some different sounds to see if we can remember what they are. Are you ready? Try and beat me to say the sound. So let's have a look at the first one. What's this one? Ah. And this one? Ear. A. Air. E. How did you do? Did you get those right? You didn't mix those two trigraphs up, did you? Okay, on here is a sound that we learnt last week, but not written the way we learnt. So we learnt a new way to write the sound last week, didn't we? What was that? Can you remember? There are actually 3 ways to make the sound. This is one of them. What are the other 2? Yes, last term we learnt about this one, didn't we? And last week we learnt this one, the I and the R. Oh, don't forget to drop my I. So 3 ways to make the sound. An ER, a UR and an IR all make the sound, don't they? And do you remember, if we're adding to the end of a word, which one do we use? Let's have a look. This one, don't we? So if we have quick and then quicker, it's always the ER. But on a normal word, they can be anywhere. They can be at the beginning, the middle, or the end. But if you're adding to a word that already exists, like slow, slower, then it's ER, isn't it? Okay, let's take a look at today's new sound. So today we have an A and a U, an A and a U, and when we put them together, they form a new sound. Now, the sound they form is the same sound we were learning yesterday. What was that? It was OR, wasn't it? So they form the OR sound. So if A and U form the OR sound, how else can we make the OR sound? How did we learn to write it yesterday? Can you remember? We know that the way we've always learned to do OR and the way you spell the word OR is an O and an R, isn't it, for OR? What did we learn yesterday? It was an A and a W, wasn't it? Oop, it's rather big, isn't he? So there are 3 ways, just like there are 3 ways we can make the sound, there are 3 ways we can make the OR sound now. We've got the O and the R, the A and the W, and the A and the U. They all make the OR sound. Now, one of them is unlikely to be at the end of a word if the OR sound is at the end of a word. Which one do you think that is? You should know because we've talked about this before. It's this one, isn't it? Because how many words do we see in books that end with a U? Not very many. We see words that end with W and we see words that end with R, but very rarely do we see words that end with a U. So this one is unlikely to ever be at the end of a word, but it could be at the beginning and it could be in the middle. Now, today, all of our OR words are going to be this one, the A and the U, for us to practice this one, okay? So let's have a look at our reading for today. So we've got 4 words to read. You know what to do. Pause me, blend them together, figure out what they say, then come back to check you're right. Okay, so let's put my pen on. Hopefully these are getting quite easy for you now. So we've got 2 single sounds in a digraph, m, or, l. So more, maul, maul. If something is mauled, it's eaten, it's chewed. Let's have a look at the next one. So single, digraph, single, single, t, or, n, t. So let's do it faster. To on, taunt, taunt. If you taunt someone, you're being a little bit cruel to them. You're not being very kind. Let's try the next one. So single sound, digraph, single sound, digraph. So l, or, n, ch. Let's go faster. Law, lawn, launch, launch. So a rocket might launch into space, mightn't it? Let's try the last one. So some single sounds, a digraph, and 2 more singles. Okay, how did you do with this one? So f, l, or, n, Need to go faster, don't we? Floor, flawn, flaunt, flaunt. So if you flaunt something, you're showing off a little bit. Okay, let's move on to some spelling then, shall we? So again, we're using the same or sound. Are you ready? Have you got your pen and paper? Then off we go. The first one is hall. Hall. Have a go at that one. Right, let's take a look. Oops, swap to my pointer. There we go. So hall. H-or-l. Now this isn't the type of hall where you might go to have our dinner in the dining hall. This is haul as in to pull something, to heave something. That's haul. Okay, the next one is jaunt. Try jaunt. All right, let's have a look. So jaunt, jaunt. And a jaunt is if you go on a jaunt, you go on a trip. How about the next one? The next one is August. August. All right, interested to see if you got this one right. Did you give it a capital because it's the name of a month? If you did, fantastic. Give yourself a huge pat on the back. So August, August. Now you notice our or sound is at the beginning or in the middle of these words. It's not at the end, is it? Because we don't have words very often that end with a U. Okay, so our character for today, are you ready? This is poor Larktroy. Poor Larktroy. Try that one for me. Right, so again, it's a name, so it's got capital letters. So Paul, P-O-L, Larktroy. And the oi sound at the end is an OY because we know that's the oi sound that goes at the end of a word. Did you remember all those things? Do you know, if you're spelling these now, you should be really, really proud of yourself because these are getting harder and harder and harder. Okay, let's have a look at our task for today. I'm going to vanish off screen so that you can see the task properly. So today's task is to describe the picture that you can see on screen, and you can see it is a haunted house. Now haunt has got our or sound in it. It's got today's or sound in it. So I'd like you to describe this haunted house. Describe the picture. And while you're doing the describing, there are some things we need to remember, obviously. Use your adjectives to describe what you can see. Remember, your adjective describes your noun, so it will describe the house, the bats, the bendy path, the ghost, anything that you can see. Then I'd like you to use verbs to describe what you would do if you were in the picture. What would you do? Would you be running away scared? Would you be screaming? How would you be behaving? What actions would be happening if you were in that haunted house? And finally, I'd like you to think about how you would feel. How would it make you feel to be in the haunted house? So I'd like you to write me 6 or 7 sentences to describe what you can see, what you would do, and how you would feel. Don't forget, I want your sentences to be punctuated correctly. I want full stops, question marks if you've got any, exclamation marks if you need them. I want capital letters, and I would like to see the sentences formed correctly. Have a go, use your amazing phonics knowledge, and I'll see you again tomorrow. Bye for now.